button.
Nerd.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Wait.
Meow, 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 meow. Welcome in. You're the first one here. Ron, the Materator. What's up, my man?
Ron!
Hello, Ron. Hello, Ron.
Is your name Ron?
Mojo's in
Mojo. Sacktown Raider Mike. Hooligan Nation. Nigerian Prince.
Ooh. Are we fixing to inherit something?
Hey.
Oh, hey. What's your at, as the kids say? Is that what they do? Did I get that right, Libby?
Right? Hey, Young Doza, Rick, Storm, Sane's World. Sane's World says he's been waiting for this live since the news broke yesterday.
Ah, that's cool. Thank you.
Hey, and Yoshi with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Says, what's up, fam? My beautiful wife is in there. Hey, baby.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
What up, girl?
What did Yoshi say?
He said, what up, fam?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, he said,
Yoshi.
what up, her fam?
Yeah. What's up, her fam, actually.
All right, here we go. We're going to kick off episode number 361. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, 361 of Raiders Fan Radio.
What's up, guys? Hey, it's Mike Garofalo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Kolechnikov, a leaking pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Elon willing, you can all hear us and see us okay tonight as we jump in here once again from one of the random rooms here around the poker table as we bring you this episode of Raiders. Talk about tonight? Like,
Gosh, too
don't
bad
know.
there's
Did anything
been
happen?
news.
we should be. That'd be something to talk about. We might actually talk about the Raiders.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, you know, we talk about the Raiders that are, not the Raiders that aren't, and there's a new aren't.
There's a new. There was definitely a was, that's for sure. And so we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But first and foremost, want to thank all of those of you that are joining us live tonight on the YouTube feed at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, where you can find us each and every Wednesday night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I think we're going to be on Wednesdays now for a hot minute. We're going to be back on the regular schedule. And so thanks to all of those of you joining us live. If you're on the Facebook or if you're on the Twitter or anywhere else you're watching us live, if you want to jump in with the chat, definitely get over to the YouTubes where the chat room is. It's the best chat room in all of sports. There's such a great community of folks in there. And so definitely jump into the conversation if you can. Also, thank you to those of you listening on the audio podcast. Just search for Raiders Fan Radio on any of your favorite podcast services and you can find us. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or YouTube Music now. Ask your internet connected device. Anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find Raiders Fan Radio. And all we ask is that you like, subscribe, hit a thumbs up, do what you can to support the show because this show supports the One Nation Foundation, which is our nonprofit giving money away to Raiders related charities. And we can't do that without your support. So we thank you so very, very much. Thank you to Yoshi already in the chat room tonight with his $20 donation.
Thank you, Yosh.
Kicking it off there, and 100% of that money goes to the foundation. And again, even if you can't support the foundation monetarily, just support us by hitting that like, hit a subscribe, tell your Raider friends about it, hit a retweet, any of that stuff definitely helps. But anyways, we got a lot to get to tonight. So without further ado, let me go ahead and turn it over to my best friend and yours. He is the man that adorns that spot over there at the poker table. He is my best friend and yours. He is Swag Jeff. What up, Swaggo?
Oh my gosh. Lots going on, man. I'm fired up to be here. You know,
we do have a lot to get to.
We got a lot to get to tonight, and you know, as soon as the news broke, because I'm always excited to hang out with my friends here at Raiders Fan Radio, and excited to hang out with the amazing folks in the chat that I'll highlight in just a moment. But like, you know, after this season and all that stuff, and then especially after the Monday press conference, it was just like, okay, I guess we got to figure out something to talk about during this show. And then, you know, yesterday's news broke and I got excited. I got fired up because there's a lot to talk about. You know, obviously, you know, respect to first. Well, I'll save it. I'll save it.
Save it for the show, Jeff.
Well, the show is now, bro. It's now. So speaking of now, so all these amazing folks that are now here in the chat, it is Mojo, Jordan Ford, Fabricator Gill, Sanes World, Ron the Materator, Johnny Jolter. Let's see here. Hooligan Nation, Raider Lorian, Sacktown Raider Mike, Fabricator Gil, I think I already said that. Storm, Intel, the whole.
We haven't seen Gil in a minute. What's up, Gil?
What's up, Gil? Good to see you, my friend. If you're in Vegas ever during the regular season or whatever, hit up Gil.
Go to Gil's tailgate.
To Gil's tailgate. He knows how to do it.
Hell
He's in
yeah.
Lot J. He knows how to do it. He's one of the goats.
He is.
He's our goat when it comes to tailgating.
He flies our Raiders Fan Radio flag.
Absolutely.
Right underneath the American flag at the frickin' tailgate.
100% he does. 100% he does. So, Murph, we don't do this show alone.
Heck no, we don't.
No,
Let's class it up around here.
We got to, man. And that side of the table is all class over there.
Amen.
So, yeah. So sitting over here to my right is the one and only, the lovely Michelle Swag.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. No, it does. It sucks, but there is a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Because
Don't
things
give
can
me
be
hope.
different. I know. But also, too, I know last show I got all serious, but I also want to send love to all of our friends and family and listeners or anybody in LA or in the
Do it. Thank you for doing that.
California
Yes.
area. The wildfires are bananas. It is so devastating to see the videos and stuff coming through. And I just hope everybody's safe. And if you being told to evacuate, get out. Leave your stuff, take your animals, your family, and get somewhere safe.
Hey man, thank you for saying that, because it is. I mean, when we look at our map, we know where this show is listened to. A majority of our listeners in Southern California. That's where Michelle's from. You're an LA girl, and just hearts go out and prayers and thoughts and all the freaking positivity towards everything that those folks are dealing with down there. It's bananas. It's unprecedented levels of devastation, and it's very, very sad. And so we're thinking about you. We're
Absolutely.
with you. We're with you. And we're just bringing it up here live on the show. The One Nation Foundation is going to participate in something once this thing, whether that's Red Cross or it's whatever the thing may be. But we're going to definitely give through the foundation to something to help those folks down there any way that we can. But Michelle, you're not at that end of the poker table alone.
I'm not. Y'all, we are lucky. Libby is back again for 2 shows in a row.
What?
It's good to be back.
Welcome to the show, Libby.
Thanks for having me.
She's going to read a few emails and hang out with us for a bit.
That's
Don't mind
perfect.
me, I just killed your camera, but I just fixed it, Libby.
Oh,
Now it's
nice.
better. Yeah, now it's better. How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what'd you think of your the inaugural appearance on Raiders Fan Radio last week?
I had a good time. It was great.
You did?
I did.
Enough to come back again, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. You're gonna help us out with some emails, and then as we mentioned last week, you're gonna help us out in the future going forward with a bunch of our social media stuff and TikToks and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And
Well, we still can on the TikTok.
So what's up with the TikTok?
God
Libby?
willing. I don't know. The future is
Bright.
we don't know.
It's kind of like the Raiders'
Kinda like
future
the
right
Raiders.
now.
It
It's
is
kind of
a
like the
very
Raiders right
future.
now.
It's
Ooh,
very-
what's going to
a little
happen?
up in the air.
Yeah. And all we can do is hope and wish
pray. And pray.
and pray.
There we go.
That's
Hope
right.
and wish.
Hope and wish and pray.
Open, wish, and pray. So, anyways, we appreciate you, Raider Nation, joining us live for this episode tonight of Raiders Fan Radio. As I mentioned, it's episode number 361 of Raiders Fan Radio, and we always take our episode number and tie it back to something significant within Raider Nation. And so, Swag Jeff, what do we have tonight?
Absolutely, man. Well, so much respect to our guy T-Hom that always comes through. He's the assistant to the assistant to the assistant of episode numbers here at Raiders Fan Radio, and we can't thank him enough for helping me, because I used to do all that episode number stuff myself, and it got to, the numbers were getting so high, and it was so hard to find stuff that was significant for each and every episode number. But T-Hom, he's already told me he's up to like episode 600 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Which is
He's
insane.
putting in OT over there.
He's putting in work for sure. So he's got another fun one for you tonight. So first, we're going to highlight the 1983 draft class of then Los Angeles Raiders. The first round draft pick.
I love that it's LA.
Don Mosbar, the 26th overall selection out of USC, became a mainstay at center. Tony Caldwell, selected in the 3rd round, was the backup linebacker drafted out of Washington. And then 4th rounder, the defensive end, Greg Townsend, if you need him. He'd go on to set the sack record, which still stands today. So Mosbar, Caldwell, and Townsend. These 3 players in the 1983 NFL draft were all born in 1961, hence 361.
Let's go, T-Hom.
Much respect, brother.
Solid, bro.
Solid.
Solid. I like how he's doing the 3 and then adding a thing, because last week was 3 60s, and now we've got 361s.
Yes, 100%. So
very-
hey, so and before we jump into the next thing, just want to give much respect to some of the, some amazing folks in the chat room.
Please do.
Sacktown Raider Mike says for the One Nation Foundation and the residents of LA with a $10 donation.
Nice.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Mike.
Yep, and then Hooligan Nation. Hooligan Nation just jumped in there and said, here's to not scaring Libby off in week 1 with a $100 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Holy cow, bro. Dang.
Thank you, Mike and Hooligan. That's
Thank you,
Yeah, you
Mike.
guys are bringing it, man. Holy cow.
Absolutely. So, and since we're on that topic, and because we've had such kind, generous donations already, Michelle, please tell us a little bit about the One Nation Foundation, what it does, who it gives to, that good stuff.
Okay, so the One Nation Foundation gives to Raiders-related charities. We've given to the Max Crosby Foundation. We've given to kind of random Raiders-related things around, just within Raider Nation. And the big one that Raider Dad. We also give to Raider Dad. And then we give to the Bolitnikoff Foundation. And they have a place called Tracy's Place of Hope, and it helps women who are in domestic violence situations get out of those situations and have a safe place to land. So everything that you give, every dollar that you give, every penny that we make doing this podcast goes to the One Nation Foundation and to all of those great charities.
Thank you very, very much, Michelle.
Yes.
And thank you, Raider Nation, for your generosity. That's so
Incredible. It's incredible.
It only took us till 2019 to figure out that we could make money with this thing, and then we're like, "Oh, let's give it away. Let's do that.
Let's give it away."
And it's frankly, it's the best part of the show. If you ask me, as much as I love as you mentioned, Jeff, hanging out with my and our friends, and talking about our favorite football team and all the things that come with this show. The best part about it is that it generates money for Raiders-related charities. So thank you to all of those of you. Those kind donations, and thank you, Hooligan, for that $100 donation. That's awesome.
That's incredible.
That's awesome. All right, so without further ado,
Do.
that might be a new thing.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to go ahead and hit some contact info, and we're going to hear from Uncle Mosh telling you where you can find us. And then after that, I got an idea.
Oh,
Let's talk about the Raiders.
let's do it.
Woo!
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation.
Where's the sing-along, man?
Oh my gosh,
All right.
Mosh
We're in
here
sync
with
tonight.
an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it,
909-345-3346.
How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something.
Nice.
Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The tiki-tiki-taki-tock. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
Oh, nicely done.
Let's go. Let's go. Nailed that.
Dang. The rookie performance in back-to-back weeks over here. Let's
gosh.
go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we don't have a sponsor this week. We don't have an advertiser this week.
Oh.
Yeah,
no.
but that's okay because let's really freak out your daughter by playing this,
Oh, no.
going this old school commercial here.
This is real, by the way.
For the glory, this is the story of what you're made of. Beef gives strength, it helps you through it. Beef gives strength, it helps you through it.
Beef in a balanced diet. It's one of the best sources of protein, iron, and B vitamins going for a whole new pride in strength.
Beef gives strength, I'll keep you going. Beef gives strength from inside. Beef puts pride in your body. Beef gives strength.
Hell yeah.
Vocals. That's good.
You know what? They don't make commercials like they used to, and that is honestly sad.
It really
There
is.
They
really
need to
is.
bring back the booth where the man gets in there and just gives it everything
Just
he's
straight
got.
bars.
That was a
Hey,
score.
that was some serious shit to the
He
beef
was
guy.
not playing around.
He was not messing
Oh, yeah.
around,
He was
man.
not.
He was
He
giving
loves
that-
some damn beef.
He did. No, he loved. He loved.
He loves it. He loves it.
You can't tell me he didn't love it.
He feels
He
the
told
pride.
us.
He told us.
Yeah.
I mean, it puts pride in your body. I mean,
Come on.
It gives strength.
from inside.
Oh my gosh. All right, Raider Nations, I appreciate you joining us live here tonight for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. All right, let's jump into it.
Let me shout out the chat first before we get into it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, fine. No, you're the producer.
Yeah, absolutely. So Paul is in there. Frankie Mosqueda's in there. Juan
Hey,
Hernandez
Frankie.
is in there. Oakland fan is in there. Ron the Materator's in there. Daniel Cemento is in there. My wife is in there.
Hey, Chris.
Let's see.
Got a lot of new names in there, huh?
Hooligan Nation. Roy Hodgers is in there. Real Talk Raider Nation is in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Rambo Adventure, Saints World, Raider Lordian,
Holy
Jordan
cow.
Ford, Scott Sweatalicki. Yeah,
butchering that guy's name every time it comes
like
up.
that's fine.
not
It's
even
gonna get worse and worse.
And you know what? And that'll be a fun bit to run. Just
Perfect.
Just butcher Scott's name every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but only out of kindness. Because we love you, Scott. Because he's always in the
Scott.
chat room.
He's in the
He
chat all the
is.
time,
He's
man.
always in
Look,
there.
there he is again.
There he is again.
Thank you, Scott.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about some Raider news. All right, so we had the last game of the season, right? Which obviously did not end the way that we wanted it to.
Sure.
That was a little bit brutal. It was a little bit of an ass whipping. And coming out of this game, let's because I hadn't even thought about like how we were going to structure the conversation tonight.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of like go through it down the timeline, right? I don't think there's any need for us to rehash the Charger game. Like
No.
we all saw it. Everybody knows what happened. Anybody that's listening to this damn show was front and center to watch what happened during that game. So you know what happened. But then coming out of that game,
Respect to Brock Bowers in that game. That's the thing that
go do it.
Well, we weren't going to hash out a lot of stuff that was happening in that game, but Brock Bowers, sets that rookie record for receptions, all that stuff, ends with
Although
over
he broke a lot of those already the week prior.
He
but
did, but he ended with over 1,100 yards
Sure,
and all that stuff.
absolutely.
He gets another touchmean that he can notch under his belt, at the end of the
you mean
season.
they threw to him in the red
they
zone?
threw to him in
What
the
a
red
concept.
zone. Exactly. So much respect to Brock. I wanted to shout that out.
Hey,
before.
and nothing, and always time to give respect to that young man and that season that he has had, and I know that there's been a couple of intended things for him, over the course of the season, but for the most part, the Raiders have not targeted him in the red zone, and the idea that they finally did on literally the last play of the season. It just, if that didn't epitomize what's going on with this Raider team this year, then I don't know what did. So anyway, so coming out of that thing, it was like immediately, it was like, all right, well, so that's Sunday. So going into Monday, right, as we knew that a lot of coaches were going to get let go. And we're like, okay, well, like we're going to find out real quick whether this is going to be Antonio Pierce's last game or not. And so, by them announcing his firing, or would there be a delayed thing or whatever? So first and foremost, I want to say this. Antonio Pierce had a scheduled press conference on Monday. His choice. He could have done it Sunday, which a lot of coaches do. They do it after the game and do their kind of like their final thing. So he chose for Monday, and the Raiders endorsed it. And the Raiders let him go out there and do his press conference on Monday afternoon. And so I don't love that play for a lot of different reasons. Is that obviously we know what ultimately happened. So you put the guy out there with an uncertain future. And although, despite my feelings about whether I wanted him or didn't want him to be our head coach anymore, to kind of parade him out there with a lot of this uncertainty, I thought was a little unfair. I thought that was a little weak the way that was done. Because I thought, okay, well, if he's going to be our coach, then go the route of the Giants and endorse him. Out of the gate, first thing Monday morning, put out a press release. He's our guy. He's not going anywhere. Endorse him. Even extend him, because as we know, he was on a 1-year deal, 1 year left in his deal. I know there was a third one pending, but it wasn't guaranteed, and non-guaranteed deals aren't worth shit. You had one deal and that 1 year left, and that was it. So I don't take a lot of shots at Mark Davis, but if I were going to take a shot at Mark, that would be the thing I would take a shot at him about, is that don't leave the guy hanging out there to go in there and deal with the press. That said, too, in dealing with the press, man, I love you all that are covering this team, and we appreciate any of the news that you bring to this football team. But God dang it, will one of you ask a effing follow-up question? One of you? Like when Antonio Pierce gives you the answer of, well, I'm a coach of this team as far as I know. And the follow-up question is, well, do you think Robert Spillane should get, how important is it to re-sign him next year? God dang it. Ask him about that idea that as far as you know, what kind of answer is that? Well, I haven't met with Mark yet. Well, when are you going to meet with Mark? Like, at a minimum, give this man an opportunity to tell you why he should or shouldn't still be the coach. Ask him what he would have done different. I mean, y'all ever watch like like a White House press briefing or like a presidential, interview or any of that stuff. There's follow-up after follow-up after follow-up. There's tons of follow-up because and I'm not saying like treat the guy like a politician, but follow up on some of this stuff, y'all. Like, there's a whole bunch of you in the room. Like, let him answer some of these questions. What did you think you did well this season? If for those of you that are questioning whether you should be the coach or not, what did you do well that would earn you that spot to come back? Like, freaking hit the guy with some goddamn questions. Don't ask him about a bunch of shit from the game that happened a day ago. Like, that's dumb, man. I'm sorry. That's a little bit of a soapbox there from me. I just didn't love that. But anyway, so you parade the guy out there. He goes out there, does his press conference, and then we're all just kind of like waiting around, going like, okay.
Well, everyone was just like, okay, he's
the guy.
Then.
But still, nothing from the Raiders to either confirm it or to say, oh no, this is it, we're done. Like the way that the team travels at the speed of smell at times drives me nuts. Like, let's get decisive. Be definitive. You can't drag this out. I know Al used to love to drag things out, but guess what? Al had 3 Lombardi trophies and a shit ton of division championships to go behind him. We don't have that luxury. The history of this team as of recent is a losing organization, a losing franchise. You can be insulated when you're Bill Belichick and you got 9 rings or whatever the hell he does. Then fine, you've earned that right to be insulated. But when you're the Raiders, I'm sorry, be transparent. Tell us what the F is going on, man. It drove me nuts the way that this thing unfolded. Anyways, all that said, they finally released the guy, and now we're starting on our coaching search. And so I'll stop there because I've been rambling for a hot minute now. Turn over to you guys. Let's go everything that you're like, what's your vibe, what's your take on everything that led up to the Antonio Pierce? And let me say this again too, like, you guys familiar enough with this show. I don't think he's the guy for the job. I think he was in over his head. So like, I'm not apologizing for him, but I am apologizing for the way that it was dealt with. I thought was Bush League at best.
Yeah, I agree. I felt bad because that's kind of shitty. Having not heard anything from anybody. So him having to go out there and just be like, well, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything. So, and I mean, he seemed like he was in good spirit. He seemed really positive. So it did make me think, okay, well, maybe sometimes no news is good news. Although that doesn't make sense in the NFL because every other team had either fired their coach or said, we're sticking with this guy. And it just seems like a shitty thing to do. Like, why even if you were looking at other coaches, then that's not your guy. That should have been right. So if you're on the fence, that's not your guy. Like it's like having 2 quarterbacks. Like if you can't pick one, then you don't have your quarterback. Like if you can't say this is definitively our coach going forward, then he's not the guy. Let him go and don't make him go out there. I just felt like that was really just shame on them for doing that. That's just not cool. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't love it either.
I didn't care for, and maybe some of these things were things that, maybe led to his firing. Maybe they were on the fence about some stuff with whether or not they were going to retain him and extend him or whether they were going to let him go. His comments when he said that they weren't going to make any changes to the staff or anything like that, it really rubbed me the wrong way. Between that and then also the comment that he made about, and everyone kind of laughed about it or whatever. Everyone in the press conference laughed about it when he said, when things are going well, everyone's chanting AP. But then when he, when things aren't going so well, get his ass out of the building and stuff like that. I think that was shade that was being thrown to a lot of the outside noise and stuff like that. But I mean, what else are we supposed to do? We're fans. We want to see success. And we heard him preach all the time, the resume on the grass, the ill intent, the violence, all that kind of stuff. And then, and then we got the product that we got. And so, yeah, of course we were going to, maybe try to run his ass out of town if this shit ain't going to work. I mean, ultimately no one is bigger than the Shield. And as much as we love AP and the passion that he brung and bringing the culture back to Raider Nation and remembering what it was like to be a Raider back in the 80s and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff to respect Antonio Pierce for.
Absolutely.
But those comments really, I think they missed me on that. But, I don't know. I think ultimately it was the right move. But the way how we got there, it was strange.
He should have never been there.
No.
Because
they should have canceled his damn press conference.
For him to say no changes as of today or whatever it was that he said, like, what the hell else was he supposed to say? Like, he clearly hadn't spoken to anybody, so he wasn't able to discuss any of those things with anybody. So they sent him out there like a sitting duck. Like, that's just shitty. It's just shitty. I don't know any other way to say
I didn't love it.
So, like, what else was he supposed to say at that press conference? I don't know. I didn't like it.
Well, it made him feel like he was defensive, and we've heard that out of Antonio Pierce before. He's had that kind of posture before, and and he's dismissive and all that kind of stuff. And so it just kind of forces him into that box. And I was talking to a coworker of mine today. He called and as soon as we got on the phone, he's like, first before we even got to work stuff, he's like, "Oh, how about your coach, man?" He's like, "I can't believe he's one and done," And I was like, "Yeah," I'm like, but he kind of wasn't though. Yeah. Like a lot of people that are critical about the whole one and done thing, like he had 9 games 2 years ago. Right. Like it wasn't like it was just literally a season. It was more than 2 season and a half, anyways, that he had, and so. I think he got a fair shake in terms of time. And I think that when you have, and this is what I was telling my coworker, I'm like, the thing that got him is that you can't have 10 straight losses and regress during that process. That is what got him. And people that want to make the Dan Campbell comparison, which is tired and it's apples and oranges, it's not the same freaking thing. But for those that are trying to make those comparisons, it's that the Dan Campbell teams showed improvement and were highly competitive. How many of our games were by double digits that we lost? You know what I'm saying? Like those are the things that we can't do. And when we look at, and I don't want to turn this into like just beat up on AP. The guy's been let go and it's over. But I think that like the comments that he made, Michelle, about, well, I would have rather have gone with my gut and not pick this player over that. Damn it. You're the head coach,
That's
dude.
Right.
You can make that call. Don't worry about what some offensive coordinator.
Yeah, what Marvin Lewis had to say.
Well, there's another scenario too where follow-up questions by these beat writers when he says, "I wish I would have gone with my." Who are you listening to? Were you listening to Marvin Lewis? Were you listening to Luke Getsy? Were you listening to Joe Philbin? Who were you listening to? Like, tell us, like, get that out of them. That would have been great information because you know what? At this point, they're all gone now. And for those of you that are out there too, that are like, "Oh, I wonder which members of this staff that are going to stick around."
Zero.
None of them.
Zero.
They're gone.
None of them.
You're going to bring in, whether it's, and we'll get into the speculation on the coaching search here in a minute, but you're going to bring in a fresh head coach that's going to hire his staff. And so, here's the other thing I want to bring up and turn over to you guys. I think that as much as the mistakes that were made that we talked about in terms of the delivery of this thing, I think that it is nice though for the Raiders to finally be back on a timing path where the order of things is going to fall back in. I was thinking about this today. I'm like, okay, so we had when Mark took over control of the Raiders from Al, who Al was the de facto GM for the team, right? Forever, pretty much. So Mark takes over and he gives over control to Dennis Allen to coach the team and Reggie McKenzie to be the general manager, right? Fired Dennis Allen and in comes Jack Del Rio. You retain the general manager, so general manager still on board, right? And then Jack Del Rio gets let go. Okay, is that right? Yeah. And then John Gruden comes in. So then you got Reggie McKenzie and John Gruden. Okay, so you still got the pecking order involved, but John Gruden was then now the de facto GM. Basically took all the control that anything that Reggie McKenzie had, any of the influence, anything, takes that away from him. Reggie McKenzie gets let go. So now you start the volatility. Now you start the reverse order of things. John Gruden is the guy. He's running the show. And you got McKenzie there. McKenzie gets let go. In comes Mike Mayock. Mike Mayock is basically going to do whatever John Gruden tells him to do. Yes, there were some amazing players that Mike Mayock, and shout out Mike Mayock, and I love that guy. And there were some things that he did that he had influence over, like making cut-ups to get Josh Jacobs, Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, like that. There's some kick-ass players we got because of Mike Mayock's influence. Mm-hmm. And also to go back to, I want to shout out Reggie McKenzie because he did something really important for our football team, which has got us healthy. It became a salary cap. Al had us way upside down and in the red. Reggie McKenzie got us healthy. Anyway, so go back to Mike Mayock. So Mike Mayock is basically going to do whatever John Gruden does. John Gruden gets let go. Then here comes an interim. Then Mike Mayock gets let go. And then they hire a package deal. Then it's Dave and it's Josh. They're a package deal, right? Then you fire them both. And then now here you've got Antonio Pierce retaining the job. And then you hire a new general manager. So it's like we haven't had the proper order of things until now. And so, Jeff, that's where I think that this is what Mark has done well, probably under the advisement of Tom Brady, which we didn't know. And we'll get into that too. We didn't know what Tom's role was going to be. We didn't know what Tom's influence was going to be. We didn't know if Tom was just going to be a silent damn partner. We know now. He's invested into the coaching search. He's invested as an advisor, a leader of the advising committee to Mark Davis. And what did they do? They retained Tom Telesco, give him rights over personnel, and now we've begun a coaching search. And it's like, this is the first time, finally, after a long time, since Reggie and Del Rio, it feels like we are organized like we should, that things will cascade in an order that they need to allow the front office guy to run the front office, the scouting staff, all that stuff. And then you're going to hire a coach and he's going to build the coaching staff. It's like, that's the right order of things. And it's been a minute since we've been there.
Yeah. All right. Whew. You good?
No.
Take a break.
No, I'm not good.
Shut up. Take a break. Take a break. But no, I totally agree with everything you just said. And I think.
Well, then don't say anything else.
Well, no, I'm going to. What, you want the mic back?
Yes. I got more. I got more to share.
Yeah, you do. But no, I think this is, I totally agree with what you said. I think that this is going to be the first time that we actually have a true, actual coaching search in a really long time. We haven't had that in a really long time. And I think we're going to do it the right way. We're going to, we've already heard that we're interviewing both the offensive and defensive coordinator for the Lions. Ben Johnson's is scheduled to be interviewed over Zoom on Friday, which would be incredible because for those of you that are like us that we're talking about, and I'm a big Hendon Hooker guy, and so watch us hire Ben Johnson, and then Hendon Hooker get traded, and then we don't even have to worry about a quarterback in the draft. We just grab Hendon Hooker and let it ride. So I don't know, but I think, to your point about Tom Brady, yes, we clearly see now, and we saw all over the news that Tom Brady was maybe even thinking about bringing in, trying to interview Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick, I think, is now, I saw a thing come through that he's declined, that he's like, I'm not coming back to the NFL.
I got clarity on that. And I will take the mic for a hot second. Okay, so the clarity on that, Tom called Bill to get advice on what traits he should look for in the next head coach and during this search.
Okay.
What would he recommend? Picked his brain a little bit on the search. It wasn't talking to him about coming to the Raiders.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. That's awesome. But yeah, so, I think that this is going to be done the right way. And I think it's going to be, because it's going to be a group effort. It's going to be Tom. It's going to be Tom and Tom, and then it's going to be Mark Davis, so Mark Davis is going to have a lot more, folks in his ear. And I don't think it's going to be emotional hires and stuff like that, because that's clear. I think that's really what this last hire was, right?
Dude, it is wild to me that it has taken him this fucking long to put something like that looks like it could be. That's why I don't have a whole lot of faith or hope that they're going to right this ship, even though I'm praying that they do, because they have to. It's just been so long, but it is wild to me that it has taken this long for someone to get in his ear and be like, this is how we need to, this, if someone's even doing that, I mean, I don't know if this just, maybe he fell into making the right decisions. I don't know, but it's wild to me that it's taken this long. Like I saw a thing on X, our wins and losses for the last 20 years. And oh my, it depressed me. I had to go into the dark for a while and just sit with my thoughts because it was so terrible. And if they don't fix this now, damn, fans are just going to start falling off, because kids they don't want to be tagged to the loser. Fix it. It has to be fixed soon, because we're all hanging by a thread at this point.
Yeah.
Well, and
100%.
you know what's interesting about you bringing that up too, Michelle, about the ineptitude of this team over the past 20 years and everything that we've been dealing with. They also, before we talk about this coaching search part of it, they also read the room so well and raised ticket prices.
Oh my gosh, that's
Did they
right.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They raised ticket prices. And so
It's unbelievable.
it's, to me, like I'm telling, like I see these. It's sometimes it feels like the business side of the Raiders is not talking to like operations is not talking to maintenance or whatever. Like it's crazy to me that there's that level of disassociation that like they chose to announce the ticket price getting raised yesterday. Like
They need to raise money for a new coach.
like,
Dude.
but like.
No,
Like
that's
how crazy
pathetic.
tone deaf is that, Michelle?
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, and it really, unfortunately, shows that that's all they care about. They don't care if Raiders fans
That's
are
the
sitting in those
message.
seats.
Whether they
only
like it or not, that's the optics.
The message is, I don't care who's in these seats. I don't care if it's the opposing fans that want to buy these tickets. I don't care that they're Raiders. I don't care. I just want money for these seats. It doesn't sit well. It doesn't look good. It's a terrible look. It's a terrible look. That's a terrible thing to do.
Yeah. Well, for as bad as this franchise has been for a long time, even folks that are, your and I's age, Libby, I mean, we haven't seen.
What do you mean your and I's?
Mine and your age or whatever.
No.
He bumped Libby all the way into her 30s.
I was gonna say, dude.
Okay. We're in
Y'all
the
are
same.
millennials. Y'all are in the millennial
sort of
generation.
kind.
You
Yeah.
are. You are.
Shut up, Murf.
Same
You
sort of us.
Stop it.
Well, that you're both alive today.
Yeah. Well,
dang,
you
bro.
saw Super Bowl wins. Me and Libby weren't alive for that.
True.
Hell, I was barely alive for the.
Yeah. But to say
Yeah, but we
this
haven't
is
won
so-
one in 40 years.
This is so.
Don't cast her out of her 20s, dude.
This
Jeez.
is so unbelievably important.
matter with you?
It is.
This hire is arguably one of the most important ones that we've seen in a really long time. Like, how important is that? Like, for us to get this right?
It's very important because I'm tired of being a loser.
God.
I love to gloat.
Thank you.
And so there's no gloating going on if we're losing.
Period. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we can look cool in this stuff, but I wanna hoist championships.
Yeah.
I wanna do some big stuff. And it's got to be an offensive minded guy.
Okay, let's hit a break then.
Oh, okay. We'll hit a break.
All right. Libby, anything else on that? Swag Jeff stole your thunder there.
I actually would like to say you didn't steal. You didn't steal.
Don't talk about stealing thunder, you jackass.
The girls are fighting. The girls are fighting.
Oh my Lord.
Why?
You broke your New Year's resolution about 7 times tonight.
I interrupted you. I haven't interrupted you once. I just talk a lot.
Oh, I'm gonna start using that.
Oh, is that what it is? You just
I just talk a lot. I can't hear you, and I talk a lot.
Well, then I'm sorry.
No,
Jeff,
it's okay.
No, it's okay.
No, hit a break.
No, hold on, YouTube. Jeff wants to share.
No, hit a break. Oh my gosh. Hey, we've got
You were
200.
gonna say something.
Yeah.
It's 'cause he's in the-
Okay, go.
I do want to say, and
Yes.
someone did mention in the chat, Brock Bowers, he hit a record, but so did Jacoby.
Oh,
good call.
Good call. Oh,
Good call,
Libby.
Libby.
Good call out. That's so true.
Great call
That's
out.
so true. Yeah. New favorite. No, that's so. I forgot about that.
did,
That's right.
yeah.
Because she came to watch.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Game at the same time because the game was really boring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but
What
that
else
did
are you
happen,
supposed
and
to
that was cool. That was really
Yeah.
cool for him.
Shout out to Jacoby.
Yeah.
Hey, we hit over 200 people in the chat tonight.
Dude, really?
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's so fun. So, and speaking of fun, holy cow,
yeah.
Intel just jumped in and said, all right, here's $100 to the One Nation Foundation. Much respect.
Thank you, Intel. Thank you, brother.
Look and said, "Let's go to the tape to see if you interrupted Swag."
No, it's okay.
I haven't interrupted
No,
you.
he probably didn't.
I haven't interrupted you tonight. I
No, you
promise I
probably
haven't
didn't.
interrupted you
I think
tonight.
it depends on your definition of interrupted. I think you guys might have different definitions. I think that might be what's happening here.
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
like if you're in the middle of saying something and then I jump in, that's interrupting you.
Oh,
Well, then you did that.
I didn't.
Wait. Yeah, okay. That's okay.
No. Go
It's
ahead,
okay.
Jeff. No, you share.
Mark Thompson is in the chat.
So, Michelle, you know,
Sacktown
so,
Raider
like,
Mike,
this is
the Raider
interrupting,
Wade,
Jeff.
James Furpo.
So this is what I'm
Paul
talking about,
Edgerton,
Libby. So this is
Reese
actually
Rock
interrupting
is in
Jeff.
the building. Lawrence Davila is in the building. Ray 2 Real is in the building. Scott, so he says, call me Scott Sweaty.
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 Nice.
Yeah, I
Okay,
like
cool.
it. I like it for sure. Frankie Mosqueda in the building. Mark Thompson, Rambo Adventures. Where's Los.com is in there. House Junkies is in there. Yeah, man. I mean, tons of new names.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate all of those of you joining us live tonight.
And that's where we can say AP, because the AP's brought all these new people here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, my
Much
gosh.
respect.
All right, let's go ahead and hit a break, and then let's talk about this coaching search.
Let's do that.
This is Dennis Haysbert, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Love it.
Is that docile in it?
How cool is that?
That's amazing. I mean, we're in good hands.
Hey, I can write that off my taxes, man. I usually get about 50 grand for that.
Did I really just spill a drink on you?
Yeah, you spilled a cocktail all over me.
Is that how much on you is it?
It's in my shoe. It's in my everything. My brand new shoes that I just got. Oh yeah.
Critique us. What am I saying now?
So Raiders Fan Radio. This is Swag Jeff and Michelle.
Raiders Fan Radio. Okay, all right, here we go.
All right.
Hey, my name is Lincoln Kennedy, and you are listening to Raider Fan Radio with Murf, Swag. I'm sorry. Let's do that.
No, it's okay.
Swag.
Swag Jeff.
Swag Jeff. Michelle.
And Michelle,
That's
yes.
simple.
Yeah, that's a
Murph,
easy one.
Swag, Jeff, and Michelle. Okay.
There we go.
This is Lincoln Kennedy, and you're listening to Raider Fan Radio with Murph, Swag, Jeff, and Michelle.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you, Lincoln.
sir.
Appreciate you so much.
That's great.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks a lot.
Appreciate you.
Really appreciate
Give it
it.
up for the legend, Lincoln.
Yeah, that was great.
The
that's
legend himself, man.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about this coaching search. But before we, I'm going to first turn it over to Libby. Will you shout out the chat room, please, and tell us?
And House Junkies and Reese Rock. We have Smacks Burner with Murph is a fool. That's a good comment.
Not wrong.
And shout out to Raider Rick.
Nice. Appreciate all of those of you joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. All right, so let's go to the coaching search. Let's go to you first, Michelle. I'll give you kind of like my little quick. It's a quick take, Jeff, if you don't mind.
Oh my gosh.
Can I take 2 minutes?
Are you going to be mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you.
Like for real, 2 minutes or?
Well, you know.
Murph 2 minutes.
I just want to know how long.
So 20. I got a lot to say.
Much emotion, man. No.
So much
We're
going
airing
on
our
this week.
grievances.
That's what we're doing.
Amen.
That's what we're doing.
Amen. So when it comes to the coaching search, like, all right, so there's a lot of there's the silly side of it, which I think could be defined as silly, which is the Bill Belichick thing. Of course, the John Gruden thing.
Yes.
Now listen, Mark Davis loves John Gruden.
He does.
That's his guy. And so the idea that there wouldn't be some sort of speculation or conversation about that, I think that it's being, blind to it, that if you didn't think that was going to be in the mix of some sort. But it gets overridden now with the presence of Tom Brady and that quote committee, whatever that is, Richard Seymour and Tom and whoever the people are on that. And I don't think Richard Seymour gets talked about enough too, by the way, because he is a minority partner as well. So just like Tom is. So I think that he's going to be definitely part of that group that are having those conversations. So all that said, I think that I would love to see the Raiders dig into an offensive-minded head coach. We've talked a lot about Ben Johnson. That's the golden goose of this whole coaching search, I think, for a lot of teams. There's also Liam Cohen from the Buccaneers. There's a handful of others. I know that we reached out to see Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator from the Chiefs. Like, there's a lot of guys that are on the list for the Raiders, Michelle. The reason that I lean into the idea of having an offensive-minded coach is that number one, we have to develop a quarterback because odds are we're going to end up with some sort of a young quarterback, whether that's via draft or it's acquiring through trade or whatever the case may be. If it's a Hendon Hooker or whatever, all the other ways are out there. So we acquire a young quarterback. You have an offensive-minded head coach to develop said quarterback, and then you don't have to worry about the turnover of an offensive coordinator. And to me, I think that's a big one. And I love Mike Vrabel. Like, we love Vrabes. You know, we love a lot of the, you know, Aaron Glenn is another one that's on the list, defensive coordinator from Detroit. Like, but then they have to hire somebody to call plays. And I really like the idea of having a guy that you don't have to worry about that. It just eliminates that part of the game where you have to deal with that with the turnover of offensive coordinators. That was under 2 minutes. Michelle, go.
Yeah, I don't know if it was under 2 minutes, but I also don't know.
Yes, you did.
I also don't know a whole lot. I mean, I know the coaches' names that are sort of being tossed around. I don't know a lot about them. What I want, though, is a coach that can hang with Harbaugh,
come on,
Peyton, and Reed, and that's all I care about. I would prefer the offensive coach for the same reasons that you said, but if he's I don't honestly, whoever can keep the Raiders competitive with the division that we're in, because that's a tough thing to do. So that's it. That's my answer.
That's a good point. And Jeff, you know, she brings up the good point that, like, we're going toe to toe in this division. That's where guys like Mo Moten, shout out Mo, Mo is like, they're probably going to lean towards a seasoned guy. So that's what, like Pete Carroll. If you want to talk about Gruden, I mean, you could put Gruden in that category too.
Right.
But she's right. Like, you got to go toe to toe with some freaking OG guys, Hall of Fame level type guys, Super Bowl winning guys, you know, in this division. And so does a seasoned guy make more sense, or do you go the young route?
Yeah, I mean, I think you go the young route for sure. You know, by the way, Yoshi with a $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation. So yeah, much respect. But I know also Liam Cohen is kind of Mo's guy as well, the offensive coordinator out there in Tampa Bay. But I think him or Ben Johnson are kind of the guys. You know, I mean, I understand that. You know, you see these massive names in our division. You see Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh. You see these names and you're like, whoa, like that's coaching royalty almost. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think bringing in one of these new generation guys, a guy like Ben Johnson, a guy like Liam Cohen, you know, these are the guys that are, you know, these are the next generation of legendary coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think the youth movement? I'd see you nodding a lot over there, Libby. You want to see youth movement in our coaching?
I agree. I think we should do that.
Yeah, somebody
I
young.
agree. Yeah, somebody young.
Somebody fresh.
Somebody creative.
Yeah.
Come on, there you go.
I'm sick of all the vanilla offensive shit we've seen. Like,
Scrap
give me
the
somebody
old heads. Get
rid of the old.
Yeah, get them out of here.
God dang. Now what am I going to do? Yeah.
Well, the fans.
We'll keep a few.
Libby's,
That's right,
Libby's
the fans.
a jockey for my chair over here.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I think Mark Davis has done the retread thing so many times.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even you could say a guy like, you know, Josh McDaniels, a retread.
Sure he was.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, even though he was this offensive guru
Dennis
and
Allen was the
offensive
only
mind,
one that wasn't, I think.
there, yeah, probably,
Because
yeah,
Dennis
probably
wasn't,
so.
because Dennis wasn't a head coach. He was only a defensive coordinator.
Right, for
And
sure.
So
I think yeah.
But I want to acknowledge your question because I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that the only coach we've brought in? You could say Antonio Pierce, but that was a different situation.
That was an emotional hire.
Yeah, that's the only one that wasn't a retread.
Yeah.
Great call out, dude.
Yeah, I think so. And so, I mean, you look at all these other guys, you know, we've tried this. And so I think Tom and Tom. I think they're, you know, but both the Toms, I think they're going to, you know, have Mark look at this maybe just a little bit of a different way. I think they're going to see it as, you know, hey, let's bring in the new generation of coaching. Let it start here.
I have a question. If he does bring Gruden back, does that just pick up his salary where he left off? Because that would certainly save him a lot of money than having to pay a whole nother coach and still be paying him. So there's that.
Well, I think if he had his choice of guys,
it's Gruden.
It's Gruden. I don't think there's any other option. I think it's Gruden. But, interesting enough, what about Tom Brady? Tom Brady a few years ago was on that podcast talking about you're going to stick with that motherfucker when he's talking about Derek Carr instead of bringing in. Well, I got my one. I got my one. I got my one, and I didn't use mine from last week. I still had it in my pocket.
Oh, you got another one in there?
No. I'll save it. Okay. But no. I mean, he's talking about that. Like, so I wonder if there's like some animosity between Gruden and Tom Brady that, like,
I thought about that. I thought about that too. Yeah.
I agree. I think so too. I think Tom Brady, like, he's petty in that sense.
Yeah.
You heard it when he made those comments about you're sticking with that guy. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with you, Michelle. Like, no, I think yeah, okay, Mark, I know you love John. To override any of that, you know what I mean? That desire there. Because I do think, I mean, and listen, you and I, okay, I'm going to retell the story briefly. Okay. Michelle and I, when we were at the Politikoff Foundation dinner this year, we were setting up for the show, and a couple of guys came over to our table as we're setting up to do the live show, and we were just rapping with them, just talking about Raider stuff and whatnot. And one of the guys drops on us that, I'll save the affiliation because it wasn't told confidence that we were told this, but it was kind of on the DL there. So there's an affiliation that this guy has with someone very, very close to John Gruden on business terms. And he said, don't be surprised if something happens with Antonio Pierce, that John Gruden is entered immediately back into the mix. That's what we were told. That's not me. As somebody told me on Twitter, I'm writing for Gruden or whatever. No, that's not the case. We're just telling you what we heard. It could be complete bullshit, but considering who the guy was and considering the closeness and who he was referencing, it was not a far-fetched concept. And I promise you that, right, Michelle?
Yeah. No, I mean, I heard it too. He said it. The thing about, though, Gruden, and I loved Gruden both times, but knowing that he made such a grotesque choice to not go with Tom Brady and to go with Gruden, to me, that is unforgivable. And I know a lot of people would have been like, oh, I don't want Tom Brady. Yes, you did. Yes, you would have taken him over Derek Carr. Like, stop. And so that's kind of unforgivable, and I will never forget that. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I think the feasibility of that is very, very low at this point. I don't think it's going to be Gruden. So yeah, let us know in the chat room who you guys want, who you're thinking out there. We all got our different preferences and different reasons for it. But I think that at a bottom line, I'll say this, and let's go around the horn here real quick. I feel like this is the healthiest, and this might be just my positive Raider brain just freaking acting up like it does every offseason. But I feel like this is the healthiest that we've been in terms of search and change, and the reset was necessary. We've talked about this reset that's happening in the front office. We've talked about this reset that's going to happen at quarterback. We've talked about all these reset. It was necessary to have this reset at head coach Jeff, and it just feels like there's enough, not these committees and people groups that were surrounded before, where it was like these, random, like you talk about old heads, you brought up Libby, all these old school people or whatever trying to advise Mark. Tom Brady is 2 years out of the league. He's 3 years out of winning a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That guy is so connected still to the NFL, to what the NFL is today. And because of his level of the juice that he's got, because of his track record and his history in the NFL, people are going to listen and respect and honor him and respond to him and gravitate towards him. And that's the thing that I think is so special about Tom Brady that a lot of folks are discounting, is that he's going to pull talent in, whether that's coaches, whether that's players, doesn't matter. He's going to pull people towards him because they want to hitch their wagon to frickin' Tom Brady. And ultimately, this thing is going to go, if we live long enough to see it, me anyways, I'm the old guy, he's going to inherit and be the operating dude for this team. Mark doesn't have an heir.
Yep.
You watch, Tom Brady is going to end up buying out large portions of this football team and running this shit. So anyways, I feel, Jeff, is that this is the healthiest spot we've been in because I feel like we've got an adult in the room. And I don't mean that as a shot at Mark Davis, but whatever it is.
My optimism is at an all-time high right now. It's the highest it's been in a really long time. And the reason that I say that is because I don't know, is this the first time? I can't remember when the last time this was. And, you know, you might know, or someone in the chat might know. When was the last time that we were searching for a coach and a quarterback? Because, you know, in years past, you know, we fired we've done it, especially in the recent past. We've done that a lot where we've had a quarterback in Derek Carr.
Yeah.
We've had Derek Carr, but then we've fired all these other head coaches and stuff like that. So you bring in a guy knowing who that quarterback is going to be. And then in the last couple years, it's been, we haven't really had a quarterback, but we knew who our coach was going to be. And, you know, I mean, so you look at a guy like Josh McDaniels or even Antonio Pierce, you know, we kind of thought we knew who our guy was going to be, but then it turned out we didn't. But like, this is the first time that we're kind of on the hunt for two things at the same time. And I think that this is a really good opportunity for our organization to hit the hard reset button and to find the right folks to put into the building.
I think Derek and Dennis. I think that's it. Because the year we drafted Derek Carr, when Dennis Allen was a first-year head coach, I think that's the answer. And Jeff, and that's a long time ago.
To be in this position, needing a coach and a quarterback, and to have had Tom Brady step into the position that he stepped into, maybe there is, but I don't think there's a voice in the NFL like Tom Brady where people are going to lean in a little closer when he's asking for something or when he's suggesting something, and it may make somebody think twice about whether or not they want to do what they're going to do or come and join the Raiders. And so I think, and I know, I get it. I'm sure in the chat they're probably talking about how, well, we don't know how well Tom Brady can handle. We don't know. That's true. But can it be any worse than what's been happening? I mean, I feel like it can only be better than what's been happening. I don't put all my trust in him, but I think he's going to help change the trajectory of this team. I really believe that. But shit, I'm tired of believing shit. I really am. Like, I want to believe so bad, but man, these last couple seasons have really fucked me up. I'm not even gonna, how many of those have I'm sorry, I've taken someone else's F word.
No, take it, go for it.
Also too, Sacktown, just real quick, Sacktown Raider Mike with $1.99. He says, I think Libby should get more mic time. Just saying.
Nice.
Appreciate the donation, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Libby. It was a super chat. We got to honor the request.
This one's for you, Sacktown. I agree because I do feel like it feels like an emotional roller coaster with the Raiders, and I think something that you say all the time, Mom, is that the pendulum, when it swings so far left, it has to go right. So I think we are like ground zero right now, and it could be worse. I mean, we could not have Tom Brady.
It
actually, it literally could be worse.
Yeah.
But I really do like, I really do like Tom Brady, and I think that I think we can only go up from here.
Yeah, agreed.
Fingers crossed.
Let's pray. That we go up and not further down.
Now let us pray.
I mean, I guess we could. It could get worse, but I won't.
No,
I
it's
won't
gonna
bring
be
that
great.
up. I won't bring that up.
New year, new team.
Us, yes.
Well, not new team. Sorry, new.
Yes, yeah.
Focus.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying.
We want our players
I get what you're saying.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, don't get rid of Max Crosby.
Yeah, we can't.
Oh my
no,
God.
And I see
do we
a
need to
lot of
touch
people
on that?
you have to, because a lot of people in the chat are back and forth like, Max is gonna leave. Max is gonna leave. I wanna
Dude,
hear
did
what you
y'all
guys
listen
say.
to his? Did you hear his podcast? Did you listen
You
to
could
it?
just delete it off.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to it, and and he said it too. Like, he said, you know, listen to the whole thing, like, because you can take bits and pieces of what I say. But I got to be honest, and I said this the last time we talked about him, when he talked about getting the injury and having the time to really sit and sort of think about everything that's going on and all of these things. Man, if this isn't the year that he leaves, it will be very soon if they don't pull it together with the Raiders. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him, because here we go again. What is that? His 7th season. He's had 400 different coaches. Now it looks like he's probably going to get another defensive coordinator. Like, he is a champion. He wants to win. Like, you can't fault a guy for being damn near fed up. I mean, we're all fed up. So imagine what he puts into it. We don't put into what he puts into it. Imagine another turnover for him. Like, damn, bruh.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. You know, money talks.
Yeah.
Money talks. And I think the frustrating thing for him right now is that he understands that he's on this last year of his, not last year of his contract, but the last year of guaranteed money. And so, you know, so he does have time to think about, you know, well, you know, if I were to get out, now's the time for me to do that. You know, I mean, especially after this hard reset that this team is hitting once again. But, you know, but I think Mark Davis he's not going to let him walk.
Yeah.
He's not going to let him go.
I believe that too.
He's not going to let him go. And Max Crosby said during one of his other interviews or whatever I saw that he's not going to be as vocal on who the head coach is going to be because he understands that his words hold a lot of power, hold a lot of clout, all that stuff. And people listen to what that mother has to say, you know, which they should, you know, because he's the face of our franchise. He's the guy, you know. So I think that, you know, at the end of the day, money talks. They're not gonna let him walk away. He's gonna be a Raider for life. All that. I mean, what say you, right?
Yeah, I'll pull a little bit of devil's advocate, and I would say this: that if there is a power play to be made, he'll lose. Like the Raiders have the leverage.
Well, that's true.
The Raiders are going to have the leverage, and listen, man, no one is bigger than the Shield. And as much as I love Max Crosby, and he's my favorite Raider to date, and as much as you know, Libby, I wouldn't want to see him leave. But if he does, he does. And you know, it's so funny because like, and not to just to sound like an old guy, but I watched my favorite Raider get traded to the Oilers. Kenny Stabler got traded. Phil Villapiano got traded. Jack Tatum got traded. And Marcus Allen, you know what I mean? Walked. Like I've seen so many great Raiders, you know, historic Raiders. Charles Woodson, for crying out loud, go to other football teams. And so if Max Crosby goes the way of those guys, not to mention I'm an A's fan, and every great A's player of the last 25 years has been jettisoned to the Yankees or somewhere else. So it's like, I'm kind of numb to that idea. As much as I love players, I'm in love with the Shield more than I'm in love with a player. And so I can respect their greatness. I can respect what they bring to the organization. I can respect their commitment. And that will never change. But the idea that if you feel like, and I get it, like you said, Michelle, like you've got a finite career. I've been a Raider fan for 52 years. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how long I've been on this planet, almost anyways. But like, so I get it that your 7-year window of playing in the NFL, you're not going to have the same dedication to a team that a fan is going to have. I get it. It's your livelihood. It's your job. It's not your freaking choice. This is a choice for us. That's not a choice for their choice is to play in the NFL. They don't give a shit at the end of the day where they're playing. As long as they're getting paid and as long as they're having success, that's all they care about. And I don't blame them for that. It doesn't vilify them as players or people. But so because of that, because of the fleeting nature of it, you gotta go, then go. Bye. Yeah. But we'll acquire some freaking draft capital for your ass and we'll improve on this football team. And we'll have faith that they can do something with that draft capital and not piss it away like what we did with the Khalil Mack stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, I love Max and I hope that he is a career Raider. He deserves to be and the team deserves him to be. But if it's not the case, then...
Well, and something that we say a lot and everybody says, it's a business. It is a business. And it's so hard for fans to like wrap their heads around that it's a business.
Yep.
But if we were in a business and not fans, and this was the season we were sitting in, we would probably be walking too. Like we would be finding a different business because 20 years of losing is really terrible for business. And so I get it. Also too, I listened to the whole thing. One of the comments when they were talking about who was going to get MVP, they mentioned Derrick Henry, and one of the guys said about him leaving, and they were like, well, yeah, he left for a championship. And it just made me think that that's something that they've been talking about because it has to be something that's on his mind. Because if he was on a team, a championship team, he would elevate that team. Like, it's,
100%.
So I get it.
Can you imagine Max in Buffalo or...
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I mean, you pick a handful of teams, playoff teams
right.
that would, I mean,
I want him to stay a Raider though, but I would understand if he doesn't. But
or Detroit,
the thought of
to
him
go in
makes me
and playing
sad.
opposite of Aiden Hutchinson or
Right,
something like
right.
that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
Holy
waiting
cow.
for Hutchinson to get healthy and Max is in there rushing the court. Like, I mean, I get
Yeah.
it, man. You're right. I mean, he's a Detroit guy.
That too.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Yep,
like,
yeah.
I kind of get that concept. But
Yeah.
Jeff, I just, it's the Raiders are going to march on, man.
Yeah.
The Raiders are going to be the Raiders, no matter who is wearing the uniform, man. The end. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right. And no one's bigger than the Shield.
No one's bigger
That's
than
it.
Shield.
But he's about as he's as close to the Shield as you can get without being bigger than the Shield.
I agree.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
he's the face
I
of our
agree.
he's the face of our franchise.
I
I
agree.
mean, I understand that if you let him walk, see you bye, we'll find another guy, we'll get some draft capital, whatever. That would be a freaking blow.
Yeah.
That would be a freaking shot to the
I just
gut
don't think
if
it would
he
be
left.
smart either.
Yeah.
Especially having a new defensive coordinator coming in, which is probably going to, I mean, I know it's not been said, but it seems like that writing is on the wall.
Yeah. Patrick Graham's already
He's
taken interviews with other teams.
Exactly. You kind of need Max Crosby to help that transfer of whatever happens. You need that constant.
You need an anchor.
You need an anchor.
You need
yeah.
an anchor.
Yeah.
You need a leader and to
Exactly,
be
yeah.
and right now this team is, I don't want to say devoid of leaders because I think that would be unfair. But when you start seeing some, like, okay, listen, regardless of how you feel about Derek, he was a leader of this football team
Right.
and he left a void. Devontae Adams, regardless about how you feel about him, he was a leader and he left a void. Okay. So when you look at the leaders of this football team, who's left? Max Crosby is the face of the Las Vegas Raiders. The end. Like there's no one even close. I mean, Josh Jacobs was sort of a leader, but he was a face of the organization.
Yeah.
And he's gone. Like who's left? Who's left? Let's do this quick little round robin before we get on to the freaking See It Fans mailbag because we want to hear from you because more of you and less of us is a good thing. But like Libby, if you had to pick a player that was the face of the Raiders, you would pick Max, yes?
100%.
100%, right? So if we exclude Max from the conversation, Michelle, who is it?
Well, right now, I guess I'd pick Brock.
Is it
Bowers.
Brock already?
Yeah. And even though like this is his first season, but he's really shot himself. He's just shining him. I mean, unless you pick freaking AJ Cole or, oh God, I forgot her.
Daniel
Daniel
Carlson?
Carlson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because they've been integral, but that's
Yeah.
even more sad.
Yeah, I think, the only other person that comes to my mind, and really the first person that came to my mind even before Brock, honestly, was Bob Spillane.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Spillane is probably especially when Max goes down with an injury out for the rest of the season, especially of the defense. He's the de facto leader of the defense, when Max is not out there and all that. So I think he's another guy that's going to be important to sign. I think in the offseason, I know they drafted Tommy Eichenberg and stuff like that just in case things didn't work out with Spillane. But I mean, we got to bring him back.
I think it's huge. I think it's huge, absolutely, to get him back. And I would throw Jack Jones's name into the mix. I mean, I know that he didn't have the season that he would have wanted to, but when you look at the way that, the last year, and think about it like this, if this was a more successful win-loss record for the Las Vegas Raiders, then I think that Jack Jones takes a more prominent role as the face of the organization, certainly on the defense when Max is out. You know what I mean? And then, so I would throw his name in there. But yeah, I mean, it's Max Crosby. It's it.
What about Jack Jones? I mean, what do you think he thinks about this whole Antonio Pierce thing? Because that was his guy.
Yeah.
That was his guy. I mean, friggin' AP picked him and said, "That's my dude."
That's
he
my dude.
gets released from New England because
he's on a go ahead.
he leaves New England for off the field issues and stuff like that. And AP's like, "Nope, I got that guy. Like I can turn this guy around," and he did.
Yeah.
And so I mean, say what you will about AP and what he actually did or didn't do, he did a friggin' number on Jack Jones. Like he brought that guy back into great. Is he going to go wherever Antonio Pierce lands as a linebacker coach?
He can't. And I don't even know if AP is going to be coaching next year. I could see him go back to the college ranks before I could see him.
So?
Yeah, before he's going to get a gig in the NFL. I mean, he might get a linebacker coach deal or somewhere.
Yeah.
But Jack Jones is on his rookie deal still, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess he is.
Chat room, correct me, but
yeah.
So the Raiders have the rights to his contract. He ain't going anywhere.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And
you're right.
Good. I love him.
I
He
do too,
quickly
man.
became one of my favorite players on the team. So
Last time I was in
would love
Vegas, I
to
bought
see
a
him.
jersey of him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't want him to go anywhere. I really like him.
No, and especially the way that our secondary is starting to shape up. You know, when we get everybody healthy, like, and we'll see what we do when it comes to like safety. Like, because I think Merrick, and here's the thing I think, and oh gosh, I said we were going to be done, but let's talk about that real quick. There's so many, there's a list of free agents. Let me bring it up here. So I'll tell you what, Libby, shout out the chat room while I'm bringing up this list of free agents, because I think this is definitely important for us to talk
When
about.
Storm said that AP is banned from college coaching right now.
I thought
that's
that.
right.
I was
That's
thinking
right.
that.
I forgot about that too.
Yep, I did too.
Shout out to Raider Enterprises. I don't know if anyone said this earlier, but they donated $19.99.
Oh,
Hey,
thank you. Oh, I missed that.
I did too. Thank you for catching that, Libby.
Read what he said.
So it says Max can go. It'll be okay.
Shots fired.
Man.
And shout out to Mark Thompson and Rambo Adventures and Ray to Real and Boogie and Paul.
Hey. Paul. Thank you all so very, very much for joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. All right, let me give you this before we get into C Fans Mailbag. All right, so here we go. So this is interesting. So we talk about the secondary. We talk about the changes that are there and the guys that are there that we would love to see the Raiders retain. Unrestricted free agents. Like, this is unrestricted. Like, these guys can go wherever they want.
Oh.
Okay? Marcus Epps, Trayvon Merrick, Divine Diablo, Robert Spillane, tight end Harrison Bryant, John Jenkins, Adam Butler, Malcolm Kuntz, Cody Whitehair, Alexander Madison, Amir Abdullah, Darnay Holmes, and Nate Hobbs.
Oh,
It's
my gosh.
critical for us to continue to develop Jack Jones. And we're probably going to need to be drafting some guys, because it sounded to me in some of the comments, Nate Hobbs might be on his way out.
Really?
So it sounded like that to me.
That would suck.
I love him too.
Marcus Epps is gone. He's probably gone. He's coming off an injury. I doubt it.
We don't need him.
Trayvon Merrick, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
No, we need to sign him.
We know that freaking
Louis said, yeah.
TT loves to freaking draft safeties. Derwin James, anybody?
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
So,
but I think Marcus Epps walking away doesn't hurt us, because now we've got Isaiah Pullman.
well, that's strong. Yes, very much so. But okay, so out of that list, I'll give it to you one more time. Chat room, jump in here and let me know what you think. Marcus Epps, Merrick, Diablo Spillane, Bryant, Jenkinson Butler, Malcolm Kuntz, Cody Whitehair, Madison Abdullah, Darnay Holmes, and Nate Hobbs. Who do you want to see? Because they're not going to keep them all. Because one of these guys are going to get Nate Hobbs is going to get money,
Dude, yeah.
from the Jets, or somebody is going to overpay for what the Raiders are going to be willing to do for Nate Hobbs. To me, if it's not Spillane, it's Malcolm Kuntz, man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's the big name off of that list that jumps out at me, because if you don't have a compliment to Max Crosby on the other side of the field, then you just double, triple team his ass like we saw, and then you nullify him.
Yeah, Malcolm Kuntz. I remember how excited we all got when we saw him sort of just jettison himself to the top of, the players. And then that injury was devastating. And so, yeah, I'd love to see him have a comeback story with the Raiders specifically. Yeah, man. I forgot about him.
Yeah, well, and I totally agree with that. I think it's Spillane and I think it's Kuntz are the two big ones that you got to keep. Merrick, I think, had another incredible season.
He had a good year.
He had a great year, and and he's been a guy he's been around for a little while now, and I think he's had a lot of really good seasons. I really like Trayvon Merrick a lot, but with Nate Hobbs, you can't let another slot guy go. Look what freaking Amik Robertson is doing
shout
at
out
Detroit.
Amik, man.
Amik Robertson.
So happy for him.
That was our guy, man.
Those are damn guy.
Man, I freaking love that dude, man. So so shout out to him. Freaking held Justin Jefferson in check in the last week of the season.
Yeah,
which no one does.
No one does
let
that.
alone an undersized guy.
Yeah.
Did you hear his comments in the locker room
No.
after the game when he said they can't bury what's already come from the dirt? I'm like,
That's hardcore.
let's go.
That's money, dude.
Oh, so good. So
That's
good.
awesome.
All right, let's see. Shout out. Have we shout out the chat room?
Yeah, we did.
we're
We
good
did,
there?
but we can do it again if you want to.
Hey, someone said that Shazan was pretty good. What's his contract status? Do you
Uh,
know?
this-
Well, he wasn't on that list.
No, he's not on the list. So,
He probably just signed a 1-year deal or something like that, right?
well, no, he didn't because he's not on the list. I don't know. That's a good
okay.
question. But that's a great.
did-
But that's a great call out though
Yeah.
because that's depth Snowden as well. You know what I
him
mean?
too. Yeah.
Yeah, having those guys as depth, that's huge. That's huge. Coming in for rotation for Kuntz and Crosby, the heck yeah. All right, let's here we go. Let's hit the see fans mailbag. More of you, less of us.
Let's do that. Yeah.
There he is, baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he's thrown. It is.
I appreciate you, Raider Nation, jumping in here and joining us for this episode number 361 of Raiders Fan Radio. This is where we hear from you because more of you and less of us is a good thing. And you can contact us a multitude of ways. You could jump into the YouTube chat room where you can find us each and every week on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And you can check us out there, or you can email the show, and you can email the show at show.
There it is.
That's S
Right.
H O W. That's not two U's. That's just one W. Shout out Kevin the Raider Nerd. That's his favorite bit. That is show, SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if we read your email on the show an indefinite amount of times, you could become a made man or made maiden. Or if you call the show at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. And you leave a voicemail. We play it 3 or more times on the show. You can become a made man or made maiden that way. And so we're going to first listen to your emails. And Michelle normally reads the emails, but Michelle has also handed off a bit of the duty tonight. Duty. To her daughter, Libby. And so who's going first?
First, real quick, we had a super chat.
Oh, cool.
Grandmaster JRA with a $5 super chat said, I'd like Gruden, Arians, or Belichick. We got to compete with the other great coaches in our division.
Wow, nicely done. I love the call on Bruce Arians.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Arians.
Very
Brady
interesting.
tie there, yeah.
Arians is a guy that could go toe-to-toe with the other three. Absolutely. Great call out there. Thank you for that super chat. All right, who's going first?
Libby's got it.
Libby's got it. Oh, good. I can put on her camera just in time to watch me go to the bathroom in the background.
Okay, this is from Hooligan. What's up, everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood hooligan here. I'm just going to say, Coach Pierce being fired has me feeling about the same way I felt wanting to win and yet still wanting the high draft pick. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not upset either. You know what I mean. It's done, though, so at this point, why worry about it? Hell, at this point, we should be used to this shit. Am I allowed to say shit? Yeah. Okay. I am happy
Your
that
mom's dropped the F-bomb twice tonight.
I am happy that it seems like we're asking to talk to strong, solid candidates and not as many old school Raider retreads. I am curious what you think about looking at Spagnuolo as a head coach, Murf. I know his previous, what is it? Spagnuolo?
Spagnolo.
Spagnolo.
Yeah.
Spagnolo.
You were perfect.
Thank you. Spagnolo as head coach, Murf.
Thank you.
I know his previous time didn't amount to a ton of success, but could Andy, I need a burger, Reed have, ooh, shade. Oh my goodness. Andy, I need a burger. Yikes. Andy, I need a burger, Reed have rubbed off on him. He certainly would know how to attack and stop the queefs.
Oh, yeah. That's always a fun one.
That's a good one.
Yep, that's a good one.
It's too early to even guess who will coach the Raiders next year. Plus, it's not like I get a say anyway. For now, it's another speculation filled off season, and no matter what I say in a moment of anger, I'll always be here rooting on the Raiders as a part of the nation. Win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation for life. F it. Raiders!
Yay, good job. Okay,
Thank you.
She's got one more to read.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. This one is from James Williams.
Hey, James.
Good afternoon and happy offseason. Here we are again with another search for a head coach. I'm not going to mention everyone I hope to be there, but for the love of God, keep Gruden far, far, far away. I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan, and he is a reason why we are looking for a quarterback today. Also, if the spoiled Steeler fans really want Tomlin gone, Tom Brady should work some magic and get him to Vegas. As for AP, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I will admit, I will bang the table for him, and I was wrong. It pains me to say, Raiders should have brought Harbaugh into the building. Now 3 of 4 in the West are in the playoffs. We all know what team is not there, and unfortunately, Raider Nation has to look at these teams thrive. That is true. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm going to hate watch the playoffs, and I can't wait to watch the Bilbo race those broke hoes from Denver. Ooh. I hope Houston smash the one team with the ugly powder blues. We shall see. I have one question for y'all. Who do you want the Raiders to select with the number 6 pick? Have a blessed weekend. From James Williams. Thank you, James.
Thanks, James.
Good job.
Thank you.
I say the best quarterback available. We got to have a quarterback.
Got to have a quarterback.
Got to have a quarterback.
I got this feeling that we're going to trade up.
I got a feeling.
I got a feeling. Yeah.
You got this feeling in your body?
I got this feeling that tonight's going
Are
to
you
be
sure
a
it's
good,
not-
good night.
Are you sure it's not the beef?
Yeah.
No, but I don't know if you pick a quarterback at 6 because of I think the 2 best quarterbacks are going to be gone. So if there's not a trade up situation, then you do take a BPA. And then you watch this be like a Jackson Dart, Ashton Genty type draft for us, Jeff.
Yeah.
I can
see it.
I kind of feel like it's going that way.
Okay.
That, and listen, I mean, we drafted Derek Carr in the 2nd round and that worked out pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what I
did.
mean? Until 2017.
Yeah, I think I think best player available, like they did with Brock. I know that's probably not what anyone wants to hear, but I don't think, what is it? Just the first 2 quarterbacks are, is it reaching to take a quarterback at 6?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's not Ward or Sanders. It kind of
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
So
I think you do go
weapon,
BPA.
Yeah. And then hopefully in the 2nd round, there's somebody that has potential.
I think the Titans are going to trade out of number 1.
You think?
I do.
Really?
I do. I think the Titans are going to go grab Sam Darnold.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's the Titans, man. I think that's what
but
they're
they
going to
got a
do.
new GM now.
Yeah, they do.
Rand Carthen got fired.
I know. I think they're going to go with a veteran. I think.
Why though? When you have the first pick,
Yeah, why would you not?
Why would you do that? Unless
I
they
just got this feeling.
Need. Maybe,
I've been having a lot of feelings.
you do have a lot of feelings. It's
It is the
okay.
beef.
I think-
Swags in his feelings.
I think it's a Sanders show.
You think so?
Or
100%.
Tennessee.
They're going to heck yeah. First
know, man.
overall pick. There's no state taxes. There's very little media pressure compared to other markets. Boy,
that seems like such a weird. It doesn't look like it. It just doesn't seem to fit. Like it just is weird. I mean, I don't know. What do
If
I
they
know?
take one, I think it's going to be Cam.
You think it'd be Cam Ward?
I think it'll be Cam, and then I think at number 2, who is number
Who's
2?
number 2?
Cleveland.
I was thinking the Browns, but maybe not.
Guys, I think it goes. I think it goes Tennessee, Cleveland, New York, and
It's Cleveland, yeah, and New England,
and
Jacksonville, then us, yeah.
Yeah. I think we still got a shot at Shador. I think we got a shot.
They're doing their own
What are you
podcast
laughing
over
at?
there.
No, I think you're laughing at the chat. Oh yeah, but also just the Shador comment because if anyone is drinking, they should take a shot every time Swag Jeff says Shador.
I've said it a lot.
You love him.
I love some Shador, man. I love Shador, man.
He is very likable. I like him too.
Yeah. I mean,
Me
hell,
too,
if we
man.
can get him, if we can get him, get him.
I agree. I agree.
Just don't get him for more than he's worth.
I'm just laughing at Libby's. That's really funny.
Shot. Okay. All right, am I?
Shador.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
Boy,
He
we're-
says it 3 times in the mirror before the show starts.
yeah.
Oh, you heard that?
Shador.
You heard that?
All right. Anthony Tyler's the next email.
Oh, it's Ty the Raider.
It's Ty the Raider.
Hi, Ty.
Oh, His name's at the bottom. Yo, what's up, Murf, Swaggy, and Michelle effing Sweat?
Condemned by putting your name at the end. Instead, from now on, lead up your emails. This is Anthony Tyler, and here's what I have to say.
Because its email says Anthony Tyler, even though I do that every time he emails.
That's all right.
Oh, shit, it's Tyler. Okay. Yo, what's up, Murf, Swaggy, and Michelle?
Hi. I'm sorry, I don't have the button.
Oh my gosh, Sweat.
There you go.
I'm all is well, and everyone.
Wow, I got mommed right there, big time, huh, Libby?
Oh my gosh.
You've heard that tone before, haven't you, Libby?
Be very afraid.
I just need my own button over here. I was working on an email detailing all my terrible draft takes over the years, but I will put it on the back burner for now. A few weeks ago, I expressed how I was on the fence about AP. Now I know plenty of people will express how he didn't have a fair shot, and some will say he should have looked over his head. Both can be true, but the real issue is how Mark has gone about running things. I remember fresh out of high school working graveyards at FedEx part-time. I used to bump heads with someone who later became my supervisor. He knew I used to go out before work and sometimes came to work with the smell of perfume and sweat before I even started working and would be late because of it. My last day there, I was late and I knew I would be fired. They knew as well, but didn't stop me from working extremely hard for another chance. Hindsight, I should have loaded boxes in the wrong truck. I think deep down, AP knew no matter if he won against the Chargers or not, he would be gone, and was just as shocked as everyone else that he would hold a press conference. Mark Davis is like Sir Reginald Hargreaves from the Umbrella Academy. Sir Reginald Hargreaves always believed his unconventional decisions would eventually bring success, even as they created chaos and confusion. Similarly, Mark Davis seems to operate with the belief that his bold moves will pay off. Yet the Raiders' repeated struggles makes fans question his judgment. Why does he keep making these questionable choices? Like Hargreaves, Davis might think he's leading the team toward greatness, but it's hard not to wonder if he's just caught in a cycle of missteps and miscalculations. John Gruden, Jack Del Rio, Josh McDaniels, Dennis Allen, Antonio Pierce. In Raiders terms, Tom Brady is like number 5, bringing experience, leadership, and winning mentality. He's seen it all and offers valuable guidance, but it's uncertain if the Raiders will fully leverage his wisdom or continue making the same mistakes. Now, if you watch the show, I think all we have to do is figure out who Abigail is. I've never shows in movies with disasters because I'm running out of ideas. All love and respect, Tyda Raider.
Hey,
nice, Ty.
Thank you, Ty. I love the Umbrella Academy.
I've heard good things about it.
It's fantastic, and I'm showing my nerd a little bit. I read the graphic novels.
Oh,
the graphic novels are fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's where they came from. And then the first 2 seasons, third season is like, but the first 2 seasons of Umbrella Academy are fantastic.
Oh.
It's on
Sweet.
Netflix. Check it out.
Nice.
I think I watched the first season of that. It's pretty good.
It's good, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
How many seasons?
I think it's just 3.
Okay.
And the third one was like, it's fine. But the first one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We're starting Umbrella Academy Radio next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
I'll get caught up. Okay, next is
Shout out Luther.
Justin from Iowa. Hello, RFR crew. I hope you've had a good new year so far. Antonio Pierce has been let go, and now we are in football limbo once again. I cannot stress enough how much we all need to pray for it to work out this time. No more fat-eared offensive genius type dingleberries who are know-it-all arrogant turds or having coaching staffs the size of small towns to help make stupid business decisions during games. Also, please don't bring back Chucky, hoping to rekindle an old flame. We've spun around that block twice now, and a third time just seems like we're going back to a broke boyfriend with no job because he was good to us at one point in time. I'm also maybe going against the grain, but I don't want Vrabel. We need an offensive coach who can develop quarterbacks and be at least with the curve and not 10 years behind it. Whoever we hire, though, I'll support until they're not here anymore. I do have one point to bring up regarding one of your latest episodes. You spoke about fans who wear the gear but don't respond in public, and I do take a little issue with how it was presented.
Oh.
I've been diagnosed with PTSD, and with that comes a bit of social anxiety. So when I'm in public with my Raiders gear on, when approached, I have a habit of having awkward responses or no response at all. Not for the lack of passion, it's just that my shell takes a minute to come open, and my focus in public settings where I'm not comfortable is to get in and get out before I have an internal meltdown. I just wanted to raise that idea with you guys and try to limit the judgment for people like me who love this football team with a fiery passion equal to or greater than anyone else's. So with that in mind, please be kind to people like me who are a little crazy and aren't good at expressing outside of their comfort zone. Thank you guys and gal for all that you've done and continue to do. Sincerely, Justin from Iowa.
Thanks, Justin.
Honestly, I can usually tell because I have sometimes can have some anxiety out in public and stuff. And
Sure.
I can usually tell like when it's someone that's just uncomfortable or awkward, and then you can kind of tell when it's someone that's kind of just wearing it for their flash of it. So I try to be mindful of
100%,
that.
and would always have grace around that.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like would never press that or judge that or anything like that. Yeah, no, but that's
a good
thank
point.
you, Justin.
It is a good point. Yeah. Because
absolutely.
sometimes you don't think about those things. Yeah. All right, next is Paul.
Because whenever I'm in the grocery store, Publix, I'm going Raider. Fuck. Like, jeez.
Clutch my
Oh my gosh.
They've dropped the milk and eggs. Like
That's
just
right.
Eggs
That's
everywhere.
right. That's right.
And they've run out the front door. Yeah, that was probably bad. That'd be bad.
Hey, Jacob from Fresno's in the chat. And that's the first time I think I've ever seen him in the chat.
Yeah.
No, it's usually Jordan Ford.
Jacob and
No,
Fresno.
Jacob in Fresno.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Not to be confused.
Not to be
Yeah.
confused.
With
Oh,
Jordan.
wow.
Jordan Ford.
Because
That's
two different
Jay in
names.
St. Louis. That's Jay in St.
Thank
Louis.
you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting older.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Jacob in Fresno. That's cool. Yeah.
Next we have Paul.
Oh.
Evening, everybody. I hope
Is this
you're
where I
all
interrupt
well.
Jeff again? Or I
No.
just
As
interrupted
long as
you?
you don't interrupt me.
As long as you're not interrupting me.
Oh my God.
Someone in the chat just said, Jesus, Dad just yelled.
He did yell.
He did yell.
Oh my gosh.
So I typed up my email for the week and was virtually ready to send it when Ian Rappaport announced that Antonio Pierce had been fired. It was looking likely that we were keeping him on staff for another year, and the original email was pointing to how angry I was and how flat I was feeling should that be the case. I couldn't get my head around the logic of keeping him. How bad does a coach have to be? I had written. The AP fans' only logical response to keeping him was continuity, which is, in an ideal situation, is correct, but not when a coach is this bad. If there were a list of reasons showing progression, then I'd have been prepared to cut him some slack, but there weren't any. I'll repeat the question again that many people had been asking. What had AP done that made you think he deserved another year? We were probably heading into next year with the same old shit going on. He'd have been fired by the bye week, and another year would have been wasted. The season has really hurt more than any other that I can recall, and the final insult would have been to leave things as they were. I'll end by saying this. Whoever the coach is and whatever happens over the coming months, they'll have my full support come the start of the season, and despite my misgivings, I would have supported Pierce in the same way. Also, my comments aren't meant to as an insult to anybody in the nation who disagrees with me. It's my opinion, not a point-scoring social media game or a means for me to shout, see, I told you I was right.
Come on.
My love for the Raiders grows every year. My admiration of the nation grows by the week, especially those that continue to spend their hard-earned money traveling the length and breadth of the country to watch the games, especially with what has just been served up. The losing shit has to stop. Antonio Pierce wasn't the guy to do it. Hell, I'd have even taken Gruden back rather than head down the road we were going. Now the process starts to find someone who can take us forward. I believe we have got a team that's better than 4-13. We just need the right coaching staff that can prove it. We just haven't had that. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe Paul, Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, Made Man of the Year 2024, BRT Slizzer Scorekeeper, Proud Made Man, five-time, times 4 plus 4, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Come on, Paul.
Paul, your name Paul? Hello? Paul. Hello? Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Darn right you are, Paul, and thank you so very, very much for your contributions to Raiders Fan Radio via the email, as always, and thank you to all of your great emails that we had tonight, and we appreciate you.
We have a super chat.
Oh, nice.
Joe Northup says, new to the channel. What is it? $10 super chat. New to the channel. Love the crew and impactfulness of the foundation. Did I miss the Todd Monken thoughts? Was also Bowers OC in Georgia. Go Raiders.
Hey, nice done.
I'm not familiar with him.
Me neither.
So well, it's here. Let's go to the trusty Wikipedia and see what he says. He's had a history with long history in the NFL. Offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, and then of course he's gone to Georgia and he's currently the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. And
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I did know the name, but I recognized him more from Georgia because I do remember that tenure there. And I think that, I mean, listen, man, I'm down for, again, to go back to it. And we didn't reference Monken in particular, but I think any offensive-minded head coach is really where a lot of the leaning is because of the influence that they could have over a young emerging, not only a Brock Bowers, but the quarterback that's going to be, out there throwing the ball to Brock Bowers. So, I mean, that's fair. I mean, like I said, we weren't familiar. A 2-second Wikipedia search there and kind of got hip to the guy, other than just hearing his name thrown out there a bunch like we were talking about. But yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down too, man. I mean, because you look at Baltimore's offense this year. Lamar was throwing it a lot more. I mean, that offense balled the hell out this season. I mean,
Derrick Henry into that. That was
Derrick. Yeah. I mean,
you assembled the Avengers at that point.
You really did.
You know what I mean?
You 100% did. But I think he balled out. And if Foxy Scorpio says, Michelle, don't tell Murf I'm late with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you.
Better late than never, there, Foxy.
I didn't tell, but Swag did.
I did.
Why you got to rat out Foxy Scorpio?
Well, I was just excited to see him.
I would have never told on you, Foxy.
What a name.
Yeah, right?
Foxy Scorpio.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you just went all ASMR on that one.
You did.
Ooh, Foxy Scorpio.
I got the tingles.
Solid. I don't know actually.
Oh, man.
It's a good question.
I was just shocked by the name.
No, that's a solid.
I've never
name.
seen
That's
that.
That's a solid name.
Yeah, and always in our chat. Foxy Scorpio been with us a very, very long time. Yeah, very loyal listener here to RFR. So appreciate you, Foxy. And who was the other donation from? The one last about Todd Monken?
Joe Northrup.
Joe Northrup. Thank you, Joe Northrup. Appreciate you very, very much. All right. So let's go ahead and kick off the voicemails. Yes. And we're going to kick it off with the same guy that led us last week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're going to go because we already had Paul from our UK contingent, of course, represent on the emails. And now we're going to check out Martin, who is going to represent from the UK here on the voicemail. So we're going to start off with Martin.
Hey gang, Martin here. So AP's gone and frankly we look like a shambles again in the way we've handled it. Why on earth stick him in front of a press room last night if you're going to fire him in the following day? It's this kind of situation that will make potential replacements think twice about going for the job. It's a pity, because AP seems such a good fit for the organisation, but it's been clear for a while that his coaching and game management chops were lacking and not improving over time. So here we are again, facing an uncertain off-season, wondering what direction the team will be taken in, who will be coaching the players, who those players will be. The only constant seemed to be Mark Davies up in his presumably soundproof boardroom, and the devoted fan base who continue to show love and support for the team, even when the surprisingly long march to victory ends up prefacing another unsatisfactory home defeat. Everyone can't win, most don't, and only a few win often. That's just the nature of sport. Let's hope the next version of our Raiders gives us cause to be optimistic that some measure of success is possible in the near future. Go Raiders!
Nice, Martin.
Thank you.
Wow.
Solid.
Thank you, Martin. We appreciate you so very, very much. Man, I could just listen to that guy. I swear, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Heck yeah.
Just talk to us.
Just seriously, yeah.
I just want to put that on and then just.
He should really do audiobooks, though. Yeah. Like.
Hey, Martin, you ever thought about doing an audiobook?
I'm serious. I would listen to that.
Oh my gosh! All right, next up we're gonna go down.
Can you imagine him reading like Harry Potter or something like that?
Yes,
I can. Yes,
that
that's what someone said. He should read Lord of the Rings. Bro.
Yeah, thank you. There you go.
I would listen to that.
100%. Yeah, just or read Led Zeppelin lyrics,
dude.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
Make that your next call, Martin. Read us chapter 1
Prince of Peace
one of these
embrace
books.
the doom and walk the night alone. Yeah. Okay. Dance in the Dark Night. All right, here we go. Next up, go down to from the UK. Don't make fun.
I'm not making fun.
We're going to go from the UK down to Alabama and check in with our buddy Josh in the 703.
What up, fam?
Oh my gosh, this is so funny too, because this was fresh after that game.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
here we
yeah.
go. How'd your kids?
What up, fam? Well, that's not the way I wanted to see this season end. That was a fucking ass kick. First quarter, man, I was like, okay. I was going to start building some momentum. Second quarter, you know, so we're up 10-3. Okay, here we go. And then the fucking rails fell off, and we never got them back afterwards. That fucking interception by the time I was just like, that's it right there. And that's why it sucks. You sit there watching the game, and you just see there and go, that's where I know we're going to lose. Because you just see that and go, that's the one problem I've had with this team is that they can't get out of their own head. I don't know if it's ego, no belief in themselves or what, but when it comes to our team, they get down, man. They don't always seem to have that fight to come back. I've seen it a couple of times, but for the most part, one of those plays happens, next thing you know they're down, and you just kind of feel like the air deflates out of them. And like you said, I mean, we're a bad team, played a better team. Hard to say that because fucking what we did to the Chargers last year. But, you know, hey, that was the off season.
A long time ago.
Broncos, Chargers to the Chiefs are all in the playoffs. That pisses me off, too. I got nothing to say about that. Except fuck them all. But, you know, with the draft, the free agency, like I said, I don't know if I so far from really have a huge problem with going with O'Connell if he continues to build the team. But one name I was thinking about out there was Justin Fields. You get a flyer on him for a year, kind of like what.
Nope. Well, there
you
he
got
is.
a quarterback like that, and you've got someone like Brock Bowers, you know, and they get on sync and go, you know, hey, my quarterback's in trouble. I need to come back to him, or you know, find a way for him to give me the ball. Because I think that's what Brock Bowers did, and Jacoby Myers doing the same thing. So we definitely need a run game, offensive line help, linebacker, stuff like that. My time's about to run out. But I love y'all, man. I miss watching games. Just, man, fuck the rest of the AFC West.
We love you too, Josh in 703. Appreciate you so very, very much for your contributions each and every week here at Raiders Fan Radio, and hope to hear from you a bunch in the offseason. I know you could just
absolutely.
You're just going to have to yell F the whoever wins in the AFC West in the playoffs, because odds are, well, probably the Chiefs, right?
One of them will win.
God dang it, brutal. The whole division made the playoffs, and we didn't win one game against our division.
0-6 in the division. A whole nother reason.
There's no way you can keep your job when that happens.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Nope. None.
Also, a Mutation X2 said Ian Rappaport just reported that we requested to interview Ravens OC Todd Monken.
Perfect timing.
There you go.
Perfect timing. Right on. And shame on us for not being more hip to that one. Or shame on me. I'll own it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, shame on you, honestly.
Yeah. Damn it, Murph.
Libby, your thoughts on Todd Monken?
Great guy.
Love that guy. He's what a good dude he is.
That's better analysis than I had.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, next up, let's hear from our caller here in the, let's see, this is in the 661.
Hey, Murph and the gang. This is Josh from Tulare, California.
Oh, hey, Josh.
AT is fired. It's the dawn of a new day. We can finally breathe. But now we're late to the game. We're late to hiring somebody. Hopefully Tom Telesco has someone good in mind. I follow Mo and Scott over at Silver Black today. Hopefully, I watched a lot of Liam Cohen back when he was with the Rams, back when he was with the Bucks. That's a good signing. Maybe a possible Glenn, the DC from Detroit. I like what he's talking about, building a strong defense over there. But what do you guys think? I hopefully Mark, or excuse me, not Mark, but Tom and Tom Brady can make the right selection for our future. I'm just tired of being mediocre. 4-12, 6-9, or 4-13, excuse me now. 6-11 or 6-10. I'm just tired of it. We've got to live up to the standard. The standard's got to be upheld. We can't just be happy for someone that yells, "Hooray!" I mean, that's cool. But, I mean, if I want to have someone do that, I just go down to the collie again and yell that out. But y'all be safe. Have a blessed day.
All right. Great call. Yeah, you know what? I think I hate that AP kind of got a little bit of a rap for that. Where it was like, well, that's all he did. Well, it wasn't just that. And I'm not taking a shot at Josh and Tulare there, but like it wasn't just that. It was the idea that he could represent that and have success on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like when we were at that game last year against the Giants and saw the way that we closed it out, he ended his tenure with a winning record, and it was the embracing of the culture of the Raiders and the screaming of the Raiders and the way that he dressed. And I mean, shit, even in his last press conference, that starter jacket, he was wearing badass.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Like I hate that the success didn't accompany those things, because it's not just about that. And then the people that are just like, well, you can't just do that and be a good coach. Well, no shit. It's not about that, but it was about the success. And then that was just like the bonus on top of it. So I'm with Josh there, man. I would have, I mean, we all would have wanted better, but it just wasn't to be. So now we're on to the next phase. All right, next up, let's hear.
Hey, before we do that,
please.
Silver and Black Today in the chat. Our good friend Scott Gobranson in the building, man. So much respect with a $10 donation to the Foundation.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Much respect, my friend.
That's awesome, man. And shout out Scott and in his support of the One Nation Foundation. And I know we're running short on time, so I'll save you the big soapbox. But I just want to acknowledge, now that we're done with the season and done with the post game voice of the fan segments, I want to shout out Scott and the platform that he gives us to talk about the One Nation Foundation and the support that he's given us. We got a big project going on with him, and our foundation has grown since Scott and Silver and Black Today got involved with it. And so we want to acknowledge that and tell you how much we thank you for that and can't thank you enough. So thank you, Scott, and for that, not only that $10 donation, but everything else that's going on. We appreciate you so very, very much. All right, next up, what do we got? Caller in this 304 now.
Yeah, I just want to call in and just say I think it was the best move to fire AP. When you hire the OC that we had, and he had us in Chicago in a complete disaster, and then to bring him in here and think it was going to work with him, and then him going with Minshew, which probably should have been O'Connell, but I just think Tom Brady's hands are on this. I think that Mark would have gone with AP for another. No, we're resetting. Let's build up the roster. Let's try to make a move at quarterback and be signing somebody. Or I don't think we're going to move up to get Ward or Sanders, whatever that may be. I don't really know, but I'm very excited. Let's get it going and let's try to build a winning team. And hopefully. Mike Vrabel is the guy who I'm hoping for, or I could maybe Pete Carroll. I don't know, but let's just it'd be cool if we could trade for Mike Tomlin, but hey, go Raiders.
Oh man.
All right. Appreciate you calling on the 304. Yeah. Leave your name. Leave your name. There was some wild ass rumors about the Steelers, and people were like, "Where's your sources, Murf?" I'm like, "I don't know, Sports Illustrated."
Yeah.
Shit, man. I'm like, I'm just telling you what I'm not just like making shit up. You know what I mean? But that idea that they were open to the idea, and we'll find out what happens if they're a one and done in the playoffs. If the Steelers want to move on from Mike Tomlin,
man,
okay,
yeah.
Give
me that
slam
tomorrow,
dunk, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And people are like, "Oh, he won with Bill Cowher's draft, and he won." Dude, just never had a losing season.
Yeah.
Never.
Ever. And we would take that all day long. And I don't know, I just like the guy too.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Just the energy that he brings. So I'll be all about some Mike Tomlin. But anyways, great call there from the caller in the 304, and leave your name next time so we can not only shout you out, but then we can add your name to the list of the next made man here at Raiders Fan Radio. All you got to do is do 2 more. All right, next up, let's go to a caller in the 510.
Hey Murf, how you doing? It's Marcus Watson. We've gone back and forth on Twitter a few times.
Hey.
Long-time listener.
Who is it?
Crazy situation.
Marcus Watson.
Couple of questions for you.
Oh,
How
I've
can a
seen him on
business be
X.
run this
Yeah.
badly? I feel like timing in business is everything, and I feel like we've missed the boat even yesterday. I feel really, really sorry for AP. I still believe he should be fired. I don't think he did enough this year. I think there's a lot of us to believe that, but I genuinely feel sorry for him. I think he carried the head coach role with a lot of respect. I think he spoke well for the most part, and he spoke passionately about the Raiders, and for that, and we can appreciate him. But for him to come out yesterday and do that press conference is seriously embarrassing. And yeah, just I had to get that off my chest first of all. But listen, you know who I want. I've been going on about it all off season. Let's move the house now for Vrabel. Let's give him everything he wants. I hope it's not too late, because I've got a feeling he's going to take the Patriots job. But I want Vrabel. I wanted him forever. He's a leader of men. He used to play. He's coached before. Former NFL Coach of the Year. Should have had a job last year. Has experience in selecting a staff and getting a staff together. And I don't think the cupboard's bare. I think there can be a quick turnaround in 2025 if we can get Vrabel. If we don't get Vrabel, I'll be happy with Cohen. But yeah, they would be my 2. Obviously very different in terms of offensive and defensive 2 coaches. But I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Love your show, Murph. Keep it up. Cheers, brother. Take care.
Hey, Marcus Watson. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, so real quick on Vrabes, man. We've heard his name come up a couple of times now. If it's not an offensive guy, that's the guy that we would want. And Jeff, you and I were texting with Will the other, and I talked about this on Silver and Black Today the other day. And not to be a name dropper, Frank Sinatra told me never be a name dropper.
Yeah.
But like that idea that like we were hitting the boy up, we were hitting Will up. We were like, hey, there's a shot Vrabes could be in the conversation to be the next Raiders head coach. And he's like, really? We're like, yeah, man, like it's because of his connection to Tom. So I think that yes, he's going to have the challenge of finding an offensive coordinator, which could be Arthur Smith. You could bring him back. But he's done a pretty good job in his tenure with the Titans of hiring offensive coordinators. He has some pretty damn good ones, not named Todd Downing.
Oof.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you remember that name, Michelle?
Yeah.
But not named Todd Downing. But if it's not an offensive guy, yeah, it's Vrabes. That's the leader. I think
that's the leader. That's the name that, could, when you look at the lineup of our division, you could see Vrabes go toe-to-toe with any of those guys.
Yeah. Dude, he punked Bill Belichick. He out-game managed Bill Belichick. So I'm with Jeff on that one, Michelle. Are you?
I think that would be it's a solid, consistent, but like he has a history. Like you can look back and see what he's done. So yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Great stuff there. Marcus Watson. Appreciate that, my friend. And call back again. And we've got 2 more, and then you could become the next made man here at Raiders Fan Radio. All right, so this is oh my gosh, I think this is Jay in St. Louis. Let's see what he's got to say.
Nice.
Well, never mind about Ass Penis. He's gone. This is Jay from St. Louis. But yeah, Ass Penis is gone. Let's fucking go. I actually have hope for the season again.
Is that what
Yes, I believe that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Yikes.
He did.
Jeez.
Murf said, yikes. Oh, no.
There you go.
Okay.
Jay in St. Louis. Was that his call? That was the whole thing?
That's it.
Oh, that was it. I thought you paused it so we could process, but that was it. Oh, gotcha. That was it.
Clearly, I'm not.
Oh, my God.
Clearly, I'm not friggin' screening these. That's the direction to go in. All right. Appreciate you, Jay in St. Louis. All right, next up, let's go to our buddy Jacob from Fresno.
Hey.
This is Jacob from Fresno. I was wrong, and I'm mad. Goodbye.
Okay. That's another way to go.
There you go.
All right, so Jacob.
Yeah,
from
he was a big proponent of AP.
Loved him some AP. Really a proponent of AP, and also Aiden O'Connell, and was rooting for him to keep the job and Aiden O'Connell to retain as starting quarterback, and had a lot of faith in that. And listen, I'll speak for all of us. None of us will ever crap on anyone's opinion around the Raiders, man. If you want a guy, that's your guy. Like you'll never catch any heat from us and be like, no, you shouldn't think like that. Like, no, you think whatever you want. You fan whoever the hell you want to fan. Like, you'll never catch any judgment from us. We might disagree, but that's what makes this platform fun, and that's what we've always talked about. Is that, and that's one of the reasons that we love it too. That we're all here in the same room, is that we can sit here and have a conversation. Like, and it doesn't have to be like so many times. Like, Libby, you know, we talk about social media and like what you're going to help us with social media. So many times it just turns to like vitriol. It turns into name calling, and it degrades into a thing. And like, but that's not like, you can have a healthy sports conversation and not have to agree with shit like 90% of the time.
Yeah. You wouldn't be wrong.
George Ford
No, I'm
said
kidding.
he called twice. He said that was his second call.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it fed into, I don't know if it didn't come through, but maybe it fed into whatever he had said in the first call.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. But appreciate that. But and thank you, Jordan, for it. But like, touch on that though. Like, it's okay to have a healthy debate, right? It doesn't have to turn into like nastiness.
Yeah. We don't want a team of yes men. Or people that say just yes.
That just
and
agree.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good. It's good to have a difference in opinions, bouncing ideas off each other.
Absolutely. So appreciate you, Jacob in Fresno, and appreciate all you do to support not only Raiders Fan Radio, but Silver and Black Today as well. All right. So we always take our episode, not number. We take our callers, our emails, and put them in a bucket. And Swag Jeff picks out the best of the best. We call it the Sizzler Award. And Swag Jeff, who do we have tonight?
Oh my gosh! So we got we had amazing emailers, amazing calls. On the email side, we had Hooligan Nation, we had James Williams, Tyder Raider, Justin in Iowa, and Paul. And then on the calls, we had Martin, Josh in the 703, Josh in California, caller in the 304, Marcus Watson, Jay in St. Louis, and Jacob from Fresno. But tonight's Sizzler Award goes to a guy that just had us have some great conversations. Tonight's Sizzler goes to Marcus Watson.
Hey, nice job, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
Sizzler. 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 Sizzler.
We are Metallica. We are here.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders.
You know why we are here, and we ain't playing around today. From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Goodbye, AP.
He gone.
Oh my gosh. Damn, Michelle dropped one of that. He gone.
He gone.
I mean, he's gone.
On to the next.
He is
It's been real.
gone. I
See you,
mean,
bye.
hey, you know what though? Respect to him, because he really did kind of get everybody. He pulled everybody together and reminded them what the hell a Raider was. And shouts out to that.
Absolutely.
He was the hero we needed for a time.
For the time, yeah.
Never not have respect for that.
No,
Never the way that we felt at the end. I'll say this real quick and then we'll get out of here. When we were at that tailgate at the Giants game, the first win when he was the interim head coach, that tailgate felt different.
Dude.
When Josh McDaniels got fired and he took back and we had that party at Gill's tailgate, it felt like Oakland. Even though it was a smaller section of the parking lot, that felt like an Oakland Raiders tailgate. Antonio Pierce brought that energy back.
Yeah.
And then to fast forward to the last game of the year, the Broncos game, when the three of us were there for that one, it felt good. Not that we're ever embarrassed to be Raider fans, and it doesn't not ever feel good to be a Raider fan. But we were riding high. We were proud, and we were looking forward to what the next evolution was going to be of this Raiders football team. And he was 100% responsible for that. That man was responsible for everything that happened those final 9 games. And you can be critical about, you know, the way that they had unfolded and all that, but we were swaggering boisterously, right? We were pillaging just for fun, and it had been a long time since we did that stuff. And so I'll forever respect Antonio Pierce for that. Don't love this season. There's no excuse for the way this season panned out. But the way that last 9 games happened last year,
can't take it away from him.
That will never stop existing in our brains in the experience that we had, right?
I mean, he was responsible for some of my favorite Raider moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the whole
Those
game.
were the pictures that Chris and I showed you where that guy was sitting in front of us, and we were so happy. I don't think any of us have ever looked that happy at a Raiders game.
Ever.
And we were just standing on that bar, taking it all in.
Taking it all in, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
good stuff. So anyway, so appreciate Antonio Pierce and look forward to the next version of the Raiders, whatever that may be.
That's it.
All right, Raider Nation, we appreciate you so very, very much. I'll leave it to Jeff and Michelle to shout out, and Libby to shout out the chat room in there. We appreciate you very, very much. Thank you to my 3 wonderful co-hosts tonight.
Hey.
Thank you all for jumping in here and join us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. We will see you next Wednesday. We'll probably get a break in here soon, but as for now, we'll see you next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here on the YouTubes. And so appreciate you so very, very much. And who do I throw it to first?
You can throw it to Libby.
I want to shout out James Furpo and Mark Thompson and Pirate 1975 and Ron.
Good job, man. Listen.
Thanks for being here, Libby.
Yeah,
thank you, Libby.
And you know what? I just want to say, my New Year's goal for 2025, I want to make it to one of Gil's
tailgates. Oh, you will.
Yeah. Gil, you will see me.
Yeah,
Word.
you will.
In person. I'll be there.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to start scheduling those games out. That's going to be fun.
There.
Listen, it's new. I know, like, people are going to the playoffs. Disregard that. It's time to start thinking about the future.
Get excited.
Future's so bright, you got to wear shades.
Dude, I wish
you know
I
what
had
I'm saying?
mine, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's a lot. We're Raiders. We always. Bam! And here we are. Here we are, baby. We here, and we lit.
We in this.
You know what I'm saying? So much respect to everyone that's here in the building. Some of our record numbers on the YouTube tonight.
Love it, man. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
tuning
you.
in.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
For those of you on the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Whatever you're doing while you're listening to us, whether you're driving around to work, you're not cutting the grass. It's the middle of winter, but But thank you. Thank you for being here. On behalf of Libby, on behalf of Michelle, on behalf of Murf, my name's Swag Jeff, and you've been listening to another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas, it started in Oakland.
Damn right it did.
Damn right.
See you, bye.
Get out of YouTube.
Goodbye.